depou sam Matice srpske ovde u Novom Sadu. Ovde se čuvaju sva ona umetnička dela kojima je potrebna određena dorada, da se poprave, da sve ono što je oštećeno vremenom postane tako da možda pređe gore u izložbenu prostoriju. Popravke restauratorske su jako, jako skupe i jako je dobro da se nađe čovek koji uspe u poslu da određena sredstva želi da investira u ono što se zove doprinos kulturnom nasleđu.
Mira, kako ste?
Dobro sam.
Dobro.
It's very nice that I'm present here just to hear that you are supporting the art and they are going to take you to the main place where those things are happening.
Super,
Okay.
super. I know this gallery already, but I would like to see again these masterpieces because I am the one enjoying the fine arts.
The most secretive part of this gallery. You have never been there.
I've never been, probably. That's a privilege. So you have to control humidity.
Yes, that's dehumidifier. Because these rooms sometimes have a little bit.
You remember when we met a few weeks ago with those guys coming from Italy, the Gopion company.
Yes.
They, you know, I know from them, I learned from them that they are working a lot on the technology, how to control automatically this without. I mean, this one is the machine, but. On a more complex way, you need some automatic device that controls humidity in the environment. How many pieces you have here?
Well, here in this, I think about 300-400. As I don't know now really by heart, but there is
And how many are on the exhibition? How many are in the permanent?
Permanent exhibition about 500, yes.
Okay,
and
so you have another exhibition, like the spare
yes,
exhibition.
but this is only one of the storage rooms, so we have more than 9,000 art pieces that are stored in different storage rooms. This is one of them.
My God, I was thinking one thing. What happens if the Dunav comes out and goes inside here?
That's why you're here. To prevent that the Dunav is going to hurt, yes.
Exactly, I asked this, the dumb question is always the most significant question. No, it's not by chance. That's very important to preserve these places, and we need. I can imagine that there is, apart to being some insurance, but there should be some prevention, because the problem of insurance is when some piece of art is destroyed, it's got to, and you have to look to avoid this.
You mentioned insurance. Tell me one thing. Would you ever insure a painting in this country?
But first of all, when you insure against what? I ask you. Because
you mentioned the Danube, you mentioned the flood,
no, because the insurance can be against the theft, and I don't know if somebody steals the painting, depends which painting it is and which person it is. And then there is the damage to the painting. In theory, there could be also the damage that the painting can do on somebody if the painting is hanging and falls on the person, but this is a more theoretical thing.
Now, would you insure or not?
Yes, I would insure. I would not insure only one. When you insure something, you need to create some more, let's say, some collective thing. Insure all the paintings of Serbia.
Let me tell you something. When I was in Italy, I met a person who was going in the same kind of buildings, coming all the way to the secret parts of the, galleries and museums, and they started to repair the hidden hidden paintings and hidden beautiful art things. Do you know that? I met him.
Yeah, okay, I don't know this person,
Yes,
but I
yes,
know there are
yes,
people
yes, yes.
doing restorations, and this is one of the most important things, because most of these, the most recent are in good shape, but when you find when you have things that were in old smoky rooms, they are full with dirt and smoke. So you need, it's an art, very special. It's a very important part of the restoration.
You, as a director of such a gallery, do you have the idea, do you write letters, for example, to foreign businessmen like he is, asking for a certain help, or they feel completely enthusiastic, like this gentleman, and they come to you? What is the way? You ask them, you write to them, or they come alone?
We invite them to come here to see what we are doing, because we believe that the energy that we are spreading here is something very good and very specific. So if we invite them, like we invite Mr. to come here to see what we are doing and how we are doing, and then they decide, are they want to be a part of our job, and are they want to be a part of this great work.
You're lucky, you know why? He's from Italy. Yes. So he's brought up with beautiful paintings, beautiful church, and to preserve everything what you have. We are learning to preserve. We are learning from Italians.
You know, one history I was thinking, it has partially to do with this. You know Cappella degli Scrovegni from Giotto in Padua. Do you know who was the family Scrovegni? Family Scrovegni was a family of bankers who did a lot of money, became rich doing what we call in Italian usura, when you lend money for a very high interest rate, or treasury lira. And they became rich basically cutting the throat to others. Then, after they became rich, they felt guilty for that, and they wanted to ask forgiveness to God. And what they did, they sponsored the Cappella degli Scrovegni. So what I want to say is that sometimes also the masterpieces of fine art came to the world after, the business, and so there is a link of the business and the fine arts. I was impressed when I heard this story in Padua, and I will never forget it. That there are a lot of particularly this arte sacra is linked to some feeling of the people. Yeah. I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
What we do as a company here in Serbia and as a group, that we belong to Italian shareholder, we try to be part of community and we try to promote those values of community which are also linked to the history of the community. Arts is one example of that. Cinema is also another example. We will participate to some Serbian TV series for RTS too. Evening sun, tomorrow's rain, wash the stains away. Something in our mind. The arts is a strange thing. I mean, there are people who don't enjoy. I enjoy simply seeing. Sometimes, people look in some meaning in the arts. Personally, not always. I'm simply enjoying, enjoying the colors, enjoying the shapes, enjoying how the artist sees a certain the reality, even the combination of different pieces. And for example, I was totally astonished by this gallery, not here, in the main gallery, what an icon can be. I used to know icons from churches, very traditional way, and when I saw these icons, which are sometimes masterpieces of color, like impressionist paintings, I was so, they know, because they were with me and guiding me. like
It's Russia.
It's Russia.
Yes.
It seems Kremlin or St.
Yes.
Petersburg or
It's Moscow.
It's
The
Moscow.
square in the Moscow because it is a gift by one Russian artist to Matici srpska.
Okay.
And this is our Sava Šumanović, famous one.
The famous.
Yes.
Okay.
But I always like these small pieces. They are
Yes.
fantastic, like some kind of miniature.
The small painting. But also of the arts is incredible one thing. That sometimes you hear of masterpieces of arts found in some, in some market around the world, like where people buy, you think you buy this for I don't know, 20 euro, and then it turns out that it is maybe from some, and then the people like it only because it's from somebody. They don't like it because it's nice.
Yeah.
They like it only because it's branded. Like, you have a Prada bag, but you don't like the bag particularly, but because it's Prada-like, and yeah, it's that's incredible thing.
On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are.
Mr. Markeđani, have you ever been thinking, when you have been in Italy, that you are going to live in Novi Sad in Serbia? Honestly.
No, honestly, I didn't think, but on the other hand, as an approach to life, I try to be adaptive because, you have circumstances, a situation that require adaptation, and business is one of them, but also private life is, and then it could have been, I don't know, Warsaw, Prague, Barcelona, and another place.
What do you find here in Serbia as the most difficult thing in your business? What is for you the difficult part?
That's very
We
interesting.
are very
question.
close, Italy, Serbia, and we say that we have a similar mentality, this and that. But you are working here, and in fact, you are here to do a good job from both sides and for both sides. So, what are your difficulties? Please tell me.
To be honest, I experienced the same situations in my country. I don't think this is typical of Serbia. I think it's typical of my job. And it depends. The level of change and the type of situation can be different, are different, but the type of difficulties are absolutely the same. In that sense, it's like it belongs. It belongs to the profession and also belongs to the phase. There are some phase of management where you only do growth, everything new you build, other phases where you have to improve what is existing, which is more difficult. When you have an old building and you want to refurbish it, you cannot scrap everything and rebuild, not always. And so this is what I am experiencing here.
What is interesting, for example, your job is dealing definitely with insurance. And we are people which are not used to be insured. The people here, they think this is never going to happen to me. There are certain things which are happening to others. When I was in Italy, I realized that those are the similarities with Italy.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Yes.
Totally.
So your business is to explain to the people that insurance is a part of a safe life. That the things are not happening because we expect them. The things are happening because they are happening. And it's always happening at once when you do not expect them, right?
Absolutely.
So you're dealing, in fact, with the kind of a virtual things, right? Sometimes.
It's virtual, but then the effects of that are far from being virtual. because then if you have or not have the insurance is like if it rains, if you have the umbrella or you don't, you get wet or you don't. Yes, but you're right, and you're also right to say that it's a very similar attitude. I say in Southern Europe, on the one hand, fatalism or approach to things that say, it will not happen to me. This is absolutely the same. My country, Italy, is long and has different approaches in different regions to that. Is very, very, very different. But if we want to generalize, it is a quite frequent approach to say, insurance. I'd better buy a new telephone and then let's see what happens after that.
Tanti fiori in questo giorno lieto ricevuti, rose, rose.
When you finish the work and you're relaxing, what are you thinking about? What you are dreaming? What is your goal? What you like to think about?
Well, many things, apart thinking the next day. I think to my free time, my next moment, also my next moment with the family. And about that, I want to say that I think to this moment in specific places that you have, everybody has the posto del luogo del cuore, place of your heart. And for me and my family, there is a couple. One of them is in north of Como Lake in Italy, and is a house in the countryside which belongs to the wider family. So it's these things that belong to many people. Nobody is really his home. So we work together, we go together. There is a big garden. You can go only on foot. You can only walk up there. So there is something to bring, some really, or as the peasants in the old time is a remembering. And I think about that because it's a nice place. And I think, okay, we go when we go there, and this is linked both to the free time, both to the fact that it is another piece of a life that you need to focus. You need to take care of bees, for example, and which I'm not very able, but there are certain deadlines that you have to observe also for the bees, or simply you think to certain moments of your life. For example, I remember when I was a kid there, I have in mind the taste of a true carrot. Carrot. Today you go to the supermarket, you find tons of carrots, but they don't taste like a carrot. They taste something. And I remember when I was a kid, I went to the garden, I picked up a carrot, which was forbidden, that as such I did it. And washed the carrot, ate the carrot, and it was the flavor that you cannot imagine, the true flavor, or maybe you can imagine, but the true flavor. And that as Italian we like this lifestyle story, and so this is what fills up my evening. But I have to say that also sometimes I fill up with some nice tour into the Belgrade, which I also like.
You have to admit that you have been doing this interview in a very, very similar ambience, like in Italy, like we are in a Palazzo d'Italia somewhere, right?
Palazzo d'Italia. This could be the new name of this is Matici srpska, srpska Italijanka. Yes, it is. We are in Europe. You don't forget that here, there was the same empire in Milan and in Novi Sad for a while. And I believe this is our roots are very strongly linked, and in that sense, Venetian people, Roman people were here, and as such, there is a lot of common ground. If you take the history, 2,000 years of history, just to take the last 2,000 years, a lot of commonalities in these 2,000 years. So in that sense, we can think to be in the same place.
Imala sam jedan neverovatan susret u Italiji. Pokazali su mi jednu izložbu gde je Mario Lanza, fotograf, išao po depoima italijanskih muzeja i pokazao sve ono što je sakriveno uopšte od očiju javnosti i nalazi se u užasnom stanju. I onda je ta izložba imala ogroman uspeh i pozvala u stvari javnost da vide šta je sve u depoima. Please tell me how this happened. This photographer, Marco Lanza, came to you and said what?
Yes, he came to me. He showed the pictures and say, and when I saw the picture, I say, yes, we have to organize this exhibition to show how many objects, pictures, and so on we have in our deposit. Allora, questa è una mostra che noi abbiamo aperto un paio di mesi fa. Io ci tenevo molto che fosse realizzata ed è particolarmente originale, credo, perché noi stiamo mostrando delle opere d'arte che sono nei depositi dei musei, non sono visibili. L'Italia ha un grandissimo patrimonio di opere d'arte conservate in musei di vario tipo, questi sono vari musei italiani, che purtroppo sono in cattive condizioni, ma sono delle grandissime opere d'arte e che molte delle quali non vedranno neanche mai la luce e molte delle quali sono anche state rovinate.
Non c'è la possibilità per vedere tutti insieme, no?
No, non abbiamo la possibilità, abbiamo un grandissimo patrimonio e si dice che la maggior parte delle opere d'arte è conservata nei depositi dei musei e non è visibile, perché non abbiamo abbastanza spazio e perché non le conserviamo abbastanza bene.
Il lavoro sui depositi nei musei nasce dai depositi del Museo Archeologico di Firenze, che ho fotografato nel 2006 in occasione del 40° anniversario dell'alluvione di Firenze. Mi fu chiesto dal museo di preparare del materiale per un evento per questa ricorrenza e chiesi di andare nei depositi del museo. Sono sempre stato molto curioso dei depositi del museo, forse più che del museo, un luogo dove mi piace molto stare, un luogo dove quando è possibile entrarci, non è facile entrare nei depositi del museo, sono luoghi chiusi al pubblico, sono luoghi dove devi chiedere dei permessi. È stata la cosa più difficile, la parte burocratica. Sì. Avere permessi per entrare nei musei è difficile perché i direttori sono molto diffidenti, hanno paura di scandali giornalistici o spesso gli oggetti non sono conservati perfettamente, per cui ovviamente non è possibile conservare bene tutto, per cui l'iter burocratico è molto faticoso, per me è molto faticoso.
Ovdje vidim jednu sliku koja vidim da je oštećena. Gde je stradala?
Ova ikona je sa ikonostasa nekadašnje budimske crkve i stradala je, najverovatnije ovako stradala u poplavi. Krajem 19. veka crkva je poplavljena kad se Dunav izlio, pošto je ovo ikona iz najniže zone ikonostasa, iz zone sokla, i ti materijali su osetljivi na dugo stajanje u vodi i za razliku od ostalih ikona koje su u dobrom stanju, ova je najverovatnije zbog stajanja u vodi propala.
Jel će moći da se popravi?
Pa može, restauratori čuda čine. Da, ostalo je dovoljno da možemo da rekonstruišemo, tako da ide.
You are helping that certain art is coming to be repaired. And that's why I wanted to take you here, you know?
Yes, thank you. It is, by the way, it's really a secret place of the gallery. This one. I'm so happy to be here and see things happening, and probably the next restoration here. And I know how difficult it is. And by the way, for example, in my house, in this house in the countryside where I was mentioning, we have frescoes of the 16th century, which are spoiled by acid rains, and we need to fix them. We needed to bring some expert to fix them with some product, because otherwise you see we have some pictures of 1940 which show the perfect painting, and the picture in 1980 where this is spoiled after because the acid rain started, and so I'm very conscious. I'm conscious of my own, let's say, experience. That's why, and I know how nice it is. And then when it's gone, it's gone. So you have to take care. Really, it's not something that you say, oh, okay, there is another one. There is not another one, and the moment is this one. So I in this sense, is really, even in Serbia, there is so much in the monasteries that you have. It's great.
And thank you for the help. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you too.
Thank you.
And thank you to Matici for hosting us.